It's mad late, but I got you with this one, bro. Qualities of nostalgia, lock in.
Remember the height of quarantine when all we did was rot in our bedrooms trying to figure out which TikTok bedroom we'd all sleep in? Those were some good times. And if you think about
Bro, low key, hear me out, bro. Bro, those audios were top tier for me, bro.
realistically, those months were probably miserable for most of us. My time in quarantine had me getting legitimately fat, but I speak for the majority when I say we'd all take that any day over being a member of society. I don't know if the cause of lockdown was the government plotting from the shadows, a viral leak from some scientific laboratory, or if it really was a Chinese dude eating a bat at the market like some dudes were saying. And I'm
Low key, bro. I don't really know, but low key, I'm glad it's over, bro. But what would y'all do if you had to relive quarantine? What would y'all do different? Like for me, I'll just do like Lil Uzi did, bro. I'll just work out throughout the whole quarantine. Obviously, uh, the lounge back and stuff, bro. But like, I'll work out more during quarantine. That's what I will do.
obviously not the most qualified person to speak on this because I'm a YouTuber. But man, what I can say at this point, I'd be willing to sacrifice myself and personally fly all the way to China and eat a few bats of my own if that's what it really takes to bring back the good days. So let's go back 1 week prior to the COVID lockdown on that last day of school before spring break 2020. Lil Uzi had finally dropped Eternal Atake and everyone was listening with their AirPods in class, waiting for that sweet week off of school. During those days, there was some talk of the coronavirus, but nobody really took it too seriously at this point. We didn't think it was gonna spread over to the United States, and as students, we didn't really care. The only thing that we wanted to do was not go to school. So once school actually did get off, there wasn't a second of downtime before the gang all hopped on Fortnite with an entire week ahead.
Bro, low key. Yeah. My fault. I zoned out, but I got the reference. Um, yeah, motherfuckers was saying like, oh, coronavirus this, coronavirus that. Yo, we didn't really believe them, bro. None of us. We didn't believe them, bro. Bro. Loki, America didn't take it as serious as they did for. If we had taken it more serious, we probably wouldn't have had as much fatalities as we did, bro, during that time.
To grind for the golden Ronaldo skin, blissfully ignorant of what was to come. Now personally, I had actually gotten myself into quite the peculiar situation during week 1 of spring break, because on the first day before any kind of lockdown was announced, I got on a bus and left. So when the lockdown was officially announced, I had to stay at the homie Tony's house for a whole week until I could catch a
Bro, when quarantine happened, bro, I think I was in middle school. Like, I just went to school one day, bro. Then I think my mom got an email or something, and uh, telling us not to come to school. Or actually, nah, we started wearing face masks first. Yeah.
home. And that officially began the first week of lockdown. At this point, it wasn't really thought of as lockdown though. It was seen more like spring break 2. And once people got news of the spring break extension, they went even deeper into the degenerate activity they were on. Dudes went from playing
Oh yeah, motherfuckers were happy as shit, bro.
Fortnite all day to living in Salty Springs. From scrolling TikTok 8 hours at a time to becoming e-girls. From drinking all night to drinking all day. What I'm saying is that 2 weeks off from all responsibilities hit different and gave people way too much free time. This is also the time
Motherfuckers were happy as shit until that third week mark, bro. Okay. Yeah.
social distancing first started to be enforced. But in the case of being bunkered down with Tony, social distancing wasn't really a possibility for us. We just played PS4 and drank smoothies all day, and it was probably the peak of my life. While the world was just starting to burn, me and Tony had an unlimited strawberry supply at his house for the infinite smoothie glitch. But that lifestyle would come to an end quickly. After the week passed, I had to say goodbye to my paradise with the homie Tony. It was time to get on home and have my first day of a lockdown lifestyle. By the time week 3 of lockdown rolled around was when people started to realize that this shit was real shit. Because public school had officially gone virtual at this point, and ain't nobody about to do all that. I was dying.
Nah, low key, bro. During Zoom in school, in middle school, bro, I would just, like, use my computer, bro, or leave class early. Bro, I was low-key a smart little kid, bro. I used to, turn airplane mode on my, like, computer or something. I don't remember what I had, but, like, or what I used. And the plane mode would just, like, disabled the internet connection of it, or I'll just shut off the internet, bro.
These virtual assignments as if they didn't have real world consequences. I was just
Oops, my fault. The internet went out.
too deep in the Fortnite grind. I had to get the Ronaldo skin. It wasn't just me though. I don't know a single person who didn't just drop school altogether after attempting their first online assignment.
Yo, 2020 was the peak of TikTok, bro. Remember Charlie D'Amelio, bro? Her sister, Cabby Lame. I don't know. Cabby Lime. I don't know how would you pronounce his name? But yeah, bro.
Really sealed the deal on dropping school was when I shaved my entire head bald. Because there's no way I was about.
Bro, I have a friend in high school that shaved his head bald so his hair could grow. Bro, it did grow, but, like, I don't know how long his hair was back then, but yeah.
Show up in a Zoom call with my monkey-looking head ass. So I just opted out of school to avoid the humiliation. This may just be my collective friend group I speak for here, but every guy I knew shaved their heads bald at this point. 3 weeks locked in the bedroom had us on the same mental stability as the Joker. We were all going insane. We saw this as our life's only chance to be bald without social repercussions. But crossing that 2-month line is when we all truly started to deteriorate as humans. There's no easy way for me to say this next part, but the lack of physical activity had me gaining some weight. And coupled with my new hairstyle, I was unfortunately fat and bald at 18 years old. My sleep schedule was just as bad as my haircut too. I was going to bed at sunrise and waking up at 3 p.m. like Batman. The amount of nights I'd try and pull an all-nighter in an attempt to save my circadian rhythm.
Damn, low-key. I used to do that too, like, staying up all night and then not trying to sleep throughout the day. So then at night I can actually sleep the whole night.
only for it to completely backfire and make it worse is beyond me. And just as my sleep schedule couldn't withstand 2 months of lockdown, my grades could not withstand 2 months of missed assignments. My report card was failing all across the board. But about this time was when the most historic moment of the lockdown happened. The school board started stressing that this year's grade point average was gonna be a .2 and had no choice but to pull the plug. So they officially announced that every assignment beyond lockdown didn't count towards final grades. I remember just how joyous this news was to me, and considering how everything else in life was falling apart, it hit different to hear some good news for a change. I guess you could partially thank me for not doing my assignments and saving all of America's GPAs collectively. So when the school year eventually ended around month 3, summer break made absolutely no difference on our lives. This is when the weeks really started to blend together.
Bro, we all thought COVID would be done after 1 year, right? Boy, we were wrong, bro. Bro, that shit went on for 2 whole years, bro, and half of like 2023.
Things got bad. That social isolation was really starting to get to me at this point. Spending every waking moment grinding my life away for Golden Peely was bad for my mental. It got to the point where I now have no memory of even my family during quarantine. I have no clue what the people in my own home were getting up to. The only change I made in my day-to-day was eventually switching from Fortnite to this game called Fishing Planet, and that was definitely a downgrade that reflected my mental state. At this point, I felt like I was really starting to fail as a human being. I don't know if anyone else would do this, but after staying indoors all day, I needed to get outside. So every few nights around midnight, I would just walk around dark and empty neighborhoods by myself. Those late night walks all alone through
With or without a mask? I need to know, bro.
neighborhoods in an attempt to get outside started to hit deep. So I decided to get myself a job for the summer. So after doing a bit of searching, I eventually found a car wash that would take me. I worked there for a solid week or two before I just stopped showing up. I didn't last very long re-entering the real world. My time indoors had my mental discipline deteriorated. Coupled with the fact that I was still fat, I was working outdoors in the Arizona summer sun, and the whole time I had to wear a mask, it just wasn't something I could do. The only thing that got me through those shifts was watching Avatar on my lunch breaks because Netflix had just added the show. But Ninye, you only didn't enjoy quarantine because...
Bro, they also added CW's Flash, bro, with Grant Gustin, bro. Bro, that got me through quarantine, bro. Bro, peak show.
Spent your time poorly. That is true. Most of us spent quarantine rotting and probably didn't do shit when we could have been out hustling. If I went back, I probably would have read a book or two. Get my intelligence up, you know? Maybe I wouldn't be...
I wouldn't read, bro. I don't do that. But like I said, I'll definitely work out more, bro.
Stupid if I did that. If there was a tier list for things to do in quarantine, gaming all night would probably be a C. Sleeping all day would probably be D tier because that never feels good. Eating terribly like I did would be an F because being unhealthy like Rick Ross like that is just a terrible feeling. And not exercising would probably also be an F because it's just gonna get me built like Rick Ross even quicker. But it is what it is. And now that I say it all out loud, I don't think I particularly missed the COVID lockdown. The next few months that followed weren't all that different from the last few that already weren't that great. It's like looking back on it, all the pain and misery just despawns from our memories, and all that remains is how we had nothing to do. It's easy to compare any kind of work we have to do now to the whole lot of nothing we have.
Man, bro, remember when all the shelves were empty in the stores, bro? Couldn't find toilet paper, nothing, bro. Damn. Bro, I remember, bro, during quarantine, only my mom went out, bro. And my brother to work. He doesn't live with us anymore, but when he, in 2020, he did.
then and wish for it to come back, but that life is just not sustainable. And also, millions of people died because of COVID, so that's also a downside to consider. Either way, that's the video. Subscribe. Bye.
Bro. This is an ad, but anyway, peace out, bro.